This doesn't look like Street Fighter 6, does it? I will say, Street Fighter 4's art style, before we get started, has aged so much better than Street Fighter 5's. Like, when I jumped back into Street Fighter 5 recently for a video, I was like, God damn, that game is hideous. This game actually still looks pretty good. Anyway, what's going on here? So, yesterday I was scrolling my Twitter feed and I saw USF4 rollback is real again. Join the Discord. Here's the mod link. SF4 rollback has returned. Holy hell. And like this was like blown up on my timeline. People were talking about the return of USF4 with a rollback mod. Because Lord knows this game needs it with that trash netcode. But unfortunately, I looked into this a bit more. And unfortunately, this rollback mod might not be the golden miracle we were all hoping for. I've read some people saying that this is just like a kind of like a rebranded fork of the older unfinished rollback mod from about 6 months ago. I saw some people even saying that this version has security issues. For the time being, I'm not saying don't install it. I'm not saying do install it. I'm just saying for the time being, I'm not gonna be using it straight away. I'm gonna give it some time to settle and see what people say about it. And, you know, people do their due diligence. So what are we doing here today then? Well, in all the surrounding hype of the announcement that this rollback mod existed, I booted up Street Fighter 4 for old time's sake. For those who don't know, this was my first fighting game. I started in 2009 with on day one with vanilla SF4, long before any of this streaming or YouTube malarkey. I'm a certified 09er, which used to be a thing that people made fun of you for, but now it means you're a boomer, I guess. So over many, many years of playing this game badly, I did absorb a ton of useless knowledge and trivia about it. So today, I'm going to show you guys some weird, janky, obscure SF4 stuff that's just been rattling around in my brain for the last 15 years. Starting with a funny bug that is completely useless and was fixed in Ultra, but existed in every single version of this game. So I'm actually going to use the version select feature to show you this, because it was fixed in Ultra. Yeah, I think it's really cool that this game has edition select. That is a really nice feature. Being able to go back and like play with the old broken versions of the characters, even back to like vanilla Sagat, really cool feature, honestly. So one thing about Dudley is that this character has a million target combos. You probably know that already. He's got like target combos coming out of every orifice. And one specific target combo is kind of weird because he's got this combo right here. This is light punch, medium punch. It's just like a basic little 2-hit string. But here's the obscure like bit of information for you guys. He actually has a second target combo which looks almost identical to light medium, which is actually forward light punch into medium. Even though it looks almost exactly the same, his forward light punch has slightly more range. You guys might not even know this normal exists, forward light punch. It looks very similar to his regular jab, but if you do forward light punch to medium, tell me if you guys notice anything about this target combo. Pay attention, this is gonna be on the test, ready? You guys see it? Any eagle-eyed viewers spotted it? I'll do it once more, we'll see. A chip, exactly. This did 7 chip damage, which is barely even noticeable on the overlay. You can see Makoto's health just changes color because it's such a tiny amount of chip damage. But yeah, target combos are not supposed to do chip damage, but for some reason this one did a tiny little bit. But it was fixed in Ultra. Literally unplayable. This is the kind of useless trivia I'm going to be hitting you guys with today, so brace. Alright, let's move on to another one. You might notice quite a few of these involve Hugo, because this is my guy, this is my character, so I'm more aware of Hugo stuff than most other characters. We're going to do Hugo versus Seth for this. So Seth's super is a move that like vacuums you in and then hits you. Like this. And it can hit from very, very far away. There's a few moves in this game with a vacuum property on them. Seth has 2 of them, he also has it on Tandon. But his super is one of them, but for some reason, and this was again present in every version of the game, his is that move right there, his super, is the only move with the suction effect that does not break armor. It's not an armor breaker, and that means that when you combine it with the fact that Red Focus has unlimited guard points, like unlimited amount of hits you can absorb, it causes a very weird interaction, and I'm gonna warn you guys in advance to protect your ears, because this glitch is inconsistent and sometimes it sounds normal and sometimes it can cause an ear-splitting sound effect to play. So RIP to ear users in advance, but how did that sound for you guys? Was that alright? Were your ears bleeding? Have you recovered? Louder for those in the back. Yeah, so basically this move hits on every single frame, but none of the hits are armor breakers. So it causes a very weird interaction with red focus. Alright, let's move on. I spent some time last night digging through my old ancient Street Fighter 4 recordings for stuff that I could mention. I found one that, again, is kind of funny. Elena jank. I'm gonna generally avoid the Ultra character jank because I feel like that's well covered. Like, if you guys don't already know, the characters that were introduced in Ultra that were ported into this game from Street Fighter Cross Tekken are just jank personified. Like, I could write entire essays about those characters. So I'll generally try and avoid that stuff because it's pretty well covered territory. I'm gonna show you like some different stuff. So this is a bit of Yang jank for you guys. Alright, so the jank with Yang is, and this is an issue that is present in quite a few moves in this game, is that some moves cause your character to step forward or to step back during the animation, but the game does not have a very well programmed push box to decide like where your character is. And the really severe offender for Yang is this normal right here. Yang's stand heavy kick might not look like it, but this normal is buggy as fuck. And when he steps forward like a long distance, but his push box, which is the part of the hitbox which decides where the game wants to like position you, stays put. It stays way behind him, even though he steps forward. And that creates some funny glitches in the corner, because if you do a combo like this, if I do close stand medium kick and reset with jump heavy punch, and then I walk under the opponent into the corner and do stand heavy kick, watch what happens. You can do stand heavy kick, and then the game gets confused about where exactly Yang is positioned, and then just warps you back to the front again. It's actually a good mix-up. Like, I've been hit by this in this game. This is one of those mix-ups that's guaranteed to work the first time, every time. The whack-ass mix-up. Alright, next one. Let's talk about unintentional restands. And I use the term unintentional loosely because Hugo's is very interesting. So, back in beta, when Ultra Street Fighter 4 was in its beta tests, like the location tests, people discovered a glitch with Hugo. And Capcom actually made a pretty sensible decision that it wasn't game-breaking and led to some cool stuff, and they just left it in. So, the one that you've probably seen before, if you've ever watched Hugo, is this. This is Meat Squasher. This is Hugo's command grab, which I love the animation of. It runs you to the corner from wherever you are. This is like Hugo's version of running bear grab. And the idea is it takes you to the corner from like anywhere on screen, and then you get Oki. But when the opponent is falling down after hitting the wall, you can hit them with stand medium punch. Which I'm trying to do, but my execution is gone because I've forgotten how to do links in this game because I've been babied by Street Fighter 6. There we go. So you can link into stand medium punch after this command grab, and it will restand the opponent as if they weren't in a juggle state at all. So you've probably seen this before. But there's a reason that I picked Hugo versus Balrog, because this was not by accident. I picked Balrog on purpose. There is a tiny number of characters in this game where, as well as getting a restand into stand medium punch, because of their unique hurt boxes, you can actually restand into jab or light kick. It depends on the character. Some characters you can only restand with stand jab. Some characters you can only restand with stand light kick. I think stand light kick works on Cody, for example, if I remember rightly. And what this means is that you can restand into a jab and then combo into super, which does huge damage off a command grab. Like this. So 560 damage off a running command grab, pretty fucking cool. But it gets even crazier because Balrog is especially unique because he's one of the only characters that you can restand with jab, but he's also the only character that you can restand with jab and also link super into ultra with Hugo. He meets both those conditions. He is the only character in the game this combo works on. But watch this. This might take a few attempts because this is a hard-ass fucking combo. I think that's it. Yeah, that looked right. Okay, there we go. It's a kind of a hard combo. But there you go. You can do 741 damage off a command grab via the restand. But like I said, this literally only works on Balrog, this combo. You can't do that on anyone else. Very cool, though. However, this is not the only buggy restand in the game. Oh, God. Even just selecting this character makes me feel sick. I'm gonna have to do it, though. It's everyone's least favorite character from Street Fighter 4. So El Fuerte has several command grabs. This is one of them. This is Tortilla. However, after this command grab, you can do a restand glitch, the same that you can do with Hugo. Like that. You can reset into stand light kick. Thankfully, as far as I know, there is no way to extend this combo. Heavy super? Does this work? Tortilla. Oh, you can. Okay, I take it back. Yeah, you can do heavy super. I didn't realize that his supers went further, depending on the button press. That's news to me. Okay, let's move on. Let's talk about one of the most badly designed moves in fighting game history and why there's actually an even more egregious example of the same thing. I'm going to select DJ on the character select screen, and you guys probably already know where I'm going with this, but I have more to say. So DJ is kind of a meme character in this game. He's known for not being very good and not getting good buffs in between each version. The thing that a lot of people point to when they talk about this character being like badly designed is this. So this is DJ's close stand fierce. And if you guys don't know, this is a 2-hit heavy punch. And this move is designed to force stand on hit. This move forces stand on hit, but because it's badly designed, it doesn't actually hit crouching characters. It will, I think it will hit some crouching characters. I think it hits like big bodies crouching. But most characters, this whiffs on crouching, even though it's supposed to force stand. And people often point to that as like one of the worst design moves in the game, because that makes no sense. But I have a way more stupid one that I think makes even less sense than that. Alright, so, quick rundown about Hugo. Hugo has a million overheads in this game, and they are really, really fucking good. He's got so many good overheads. This thing, Stand Fierce, this is an overhead. It has amazing range, and this has 1 hit of armor. So it's an amazing poke in neutral, it's an amazing anti-air, and it's just amazing to just throw out. This is like a fucking 9 out of 10 button right here. This is an overhead. This is down, down, medium kick. This is also an overhead. This is one of his many overheads, and if you do this thing meaty, you can even link off it. It's like a reference to his universal overhead from Street Fighter 3. So this is also a really good overhead. This thing, stand medium kick, this is also an overhead. This one's got great range. It doesn't lead to anything, and it often whiffs the second hit, depending on the distance. This is still a really good button. This is a really useful button just to sort of like do a bit of damage while your opponent is crouching from long distance. So the point I'm making here is that Hugo has really, really good overheads in this game. With one exception that people may have forgotten about, because you've probably never even seen it in a match. This thing right here. That's stand heavy kick. Stand heavy kick is an overhead. It's an overhead that cannot hit crouching characters. So this move is designed to beat crouching, but it whiffs against crouching, basically. This is an overhead. It's also minus 10 trillion on block and minus 10 trillion on whiff. Horrible frame data, and it just doesn't hit crouching characters. Not even at any distance. Even if I move so that the feet are in Ryu's face, this cannot hit crouching characters other than big bodies. Same as DJ. Legit one of the worst moves in the game. Baffling. Let's move on. So I'm going to talk quickly about pass-through glitches, which is a prevalent thing that tons of characters in this game can do. So Street Fighter 4, as I said, is a kind of janky game, and one of the ways that jank manifests is that a lot of characters have ways of like phasing through the opponent and passing through them. I'm going to show you a couple of examples. Crouching Vega is notorious, right? There's a reason that I've picked Crouching Vega here. Crouching Vega has like one of the worst designed push boxes in the game. And so he's almost always the example that people use for pass-through glitches. But I'll show you what this looks like. There you go. So during the hit stun of this move, the reel back allows you to forward dash and pass straight through Vega while he's crouching like that. I'm not going to go through all of them in detail because there's tons of these. I'll show you one more that I know. So here's another common one. This is one that I've seen in matches a bunch of times because this one's really common. Against crouching Dudley, only gets a pass through mid-screen or forward heavy punch FADC. Like that. So there's a pass through glitch off this, which is, if you're not ready for it, this is like the most devious mix-up in the game. Pretty nasty. Anime mix-up. Also, Oni is really cool. I just want to say that. I'm a big Oni fan. I want Oni to come back. This is the only time I've ever had fun playing a Shoto in like any Street Fighter game. Do a Kuma crouch medium kick ultra 2. When did this video become like combo challenges? It's fun playing a game with so many cool costumes. Like Street Fighter 6 could never. What was the input for his ultra 2? Was it 2 up inputs or 3? What? Hang on. Up, 3 kicks. One of the weirdest inputs in the game, but yeah. Hitbox only. Yeah, bearing in mind I'm doing this on an analog stick. I'm not built for up inputs. Oh, there we go. Yeah, that's just hard off crouch medium kick. Let's continue with the video before I get distracted. Alright, the next one is so obscure that I'm gonna go ahead and say that I'm the only person in history that knows about this one. Every previous one, I'm sure there's someone in the comments going, actually everyone already knows that, you scrub. This one, I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that I'm the only person that knows about this on the planet. Okay. So, Dan's super is not very good. He does like a bunch of hits, and then he ends with a big DP at the end. So, if this hits normally, the final hit of this super, the uppercut at the end, you see how it like launches my opponent up into the air and a long way away. You get like a big launch on the final hit. So, if you get a counter hit with the final hit of Dan's super, watch what happens to Ryu. He doesn't go anywhere. He's supposed to fly up in the air and fly away, but he just sort of like drops to the floor on counter hit. I have no idea why this happens. But it doesn't work right. That's not how the move is supposed to work. It's not very flashy. It's not very exciting, but I feel like that is I can claim to be the only person who knows about this. Let me show you some more jank. Alright, the Makoto jank is her forward throw. It is not scripted correctly. So, just a quick explanation for almost every throw in Street Fighter history. Usually, characters are programmed to be invincible during throws. But Makoto's they made a slight mistake when they programmed her throw. Which is that if you leave the stick in neutral after doing her forward throw, she gains an additional like 14 plus frames of full invincibility because the invincibility is tied to the visual animation and not the frame data. So if you keep the stick completely neutral, she actually stays fully invincible for a short period after this forward throw, and I'll show you an example of what that looks like if someone tries to take advantage of it. So, let me do the forward throw and then switch to Ryu. I'm gonna do Ryu's super here because it's really fast. There you go. Straight through her face. Again, completely useless. There's no reason why you'd want to leave the stick in neutral. It's just a slight scripting error with her forward throw. You know any Goken stuff? Oh, I know that, well, I don't know if this counts as like a Goken thing, but I do remember that Goken's combos are extremely fucking buggy against Poison. I think they might have fixed it in one of the final balance patches. But this is more about Poison having a jank-ass fucking hurtbox than anything else. This isn't really a Goken issue, this is a Poison issue. Look at this fucking costume. Triton, King of the Sea. There was like a final balance patch in Ultra that made the characters' hitboxes less broken. But I think they went from being completely broken to only slightly broken, but they're still broken. Like, Elena's hitboxes are still a complete fucking mess. But if I remember right, poison can fall out of Goken's Tatsu really easily. Like that, for example. That's a poison issue. She still doesn't juggle very nicely. By the way, best Ultra in the game. Oh, the sound design. The sound design on that Ultra. What happened, Capcom? Where did it all go so wrong? This was so good. I'm just gonna start. This video is just gonna turn into me gushing about how cool Street Fighter 4 stuff was. Yeah, I have a lot of love for this game. This is the game that got me into fighting games, so I will always have nostalgia for Street Fighter 4. Quick pick Elena. Yeah, that's... If anything's gonna kill my nostalgia, it's gonna be this fucking character. She's back soon as well. She's coming to ruin Street Fighter 6 pretty soon. You guys want an in-depth Elena guide on par with my Aki tutorial? You ready? Alright. Okay, you're now qualified to play Elena. Well done. Here's your certificate. Good job, everyone. This costume's fucking sick, by the way. 10 out of 10 costume. I know I keep saying that. This game's costumes were incredible. I still stand... I guess this is my last thing I'll say for this, before we get off topic. I still stand by my belief that Ultra was a downgrade for this game, and that AE 2012 was the best version. And I say that as a Hugo player. Like, even though Ultra brought my character into the game, Ultra was so janky and so badly designed, and just brought so much, like, awkward shit into the game. I still like Ultra. I just think AE 2012 was better, even though it had unblockables everywhere. It was still better, in my opinion. But yeah. Anyway, I forgot what I was doing here. This ended up being a Street Fighter 4 Nostalgia Fest. But yeah, I hope you guys liked this. Hope you saw some stuff you haven't seen before. And I will catch you guys all in the next video.